I could say just 2 words to introduce the next speaker, and then I could sit down. But this is a city club, so I'm going to take 1 minute. Those 2 words are loyalty and gratitude. Our next speaker has a Chicago passion for old neighborhood loyalties. You know, I forgot to introduce one person. The DuPage 100 Club, Lisa. Lisa, there we go, Savignon. I told you I'd do it, I'd do it. All right, we're gonna start again. Rewind. Loyalty, gratitude. Our next speaker, this is a city club, has a Chicago passion for old neighborhood loyalties and the quiet allegiances that are fashioned there. Just ask the family of a slain police officer or a dying firefighter what this person's compassion has done for them. Or ask an immigrant what this person's assistance has meant in finding a pro bono attorney to be their advocate in court. Or ask someone who has just been released from prison what this person's kindness and compassion meant while they were incarcerated. Or ask someone without the financial ability to pay for a loved one's funeral what this person's goodness has done for them. No fanfare, no headlines. The next speaker is an old-fashioned champion of decency and compassion, and his hallmark qualities are loyalty and gratitude. Chairman Ed Burke. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Jay, for those very kind words. And as I sometimes say when I begin a speech, I borrow a phrase from King Henry VIII, who said to his 4th wife, "Not to worry, I promise I shall not keep you long." My friends, this afternoon I'm delighted to be able to join you for lunch. Some of you know that the cause of police officers and firefighters is one that's very close to my heart. Before I was elected to the city council, I actually did serve as a Chicago cop. In fact, I walked a beat not very far from where we joined together this morning. Before I introduce the keynote speaker, I'd like to share a few numbers with you. The city of Chicago currently counts nearly 12,000 officers in its ranks, and there are well over 4,000 women and men who serve in the fire department. Additionally, in the wider area, there are thousands of women and men serving in the Illinois State Police, the Cook County Sheriff's Office, and law enforcement agencies throughout the entire metropolitan Chicago area. And if we know one thing, it is that there's an absolute among firemen and peace officers. The heart of a first responder is made of steel. It's unwavering. It's something that can't be learned in academies. Either you have it or you don't. And possessing it as they do makes them members of one of the finest and most loyal fraternities on earth. Our speaker today is truly a class act. And although he's never officially served as a first responder, he has the same servant's heart. As executive director of the 100 Club for the last 3 years, he's tirelessly dedicated himself to the cause of all firefighters and police officers and to the mission of the 100 Club, which serves the families of those first responders who are killed in the line of duty. As a respected businessman and a philanthropist, Joe brings over 35 years of business leadership to the 100 Club of Chicago. You may not know that as a teenager in Philadelphia, Joe got his start in show business on the American Bandstand show with Dick Clark. And professionally, he became widely respected in Chicago and in his industry as president and general manager of WLS-TV where he operated the #1 rated newscast from 1985 until 1997. I doubt many of you know this, but during those years, Joe also discovered and launched a little-known program, The Oprah Winfrey Show. He later served as president and general manager of KGO TV in San Francisco from 1998 until 2002, when he returned to Chicago and became the president and general manager of WBBM TV. I know that I speak for all the directors and members of the 100 Club when I say that we could not be more pleased that Joe is at the helm of this organization. His effective and his charismatic leadership demonstrates a respect for members of the law enforcement and fire suppression professions that is deeply profound. And his message indeed is simple. You don't have to be carrying a badge and enforcing the law or fight fires and rescue victims to have that servant's heart. He's proof positive of that. Being a first responder is about giving, and that is what being a member of the 100 Club is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce my good friend, Mr. Joe Ahern.
Ed, that was beautiful. You could have gone on for another 10 minutes. I was really enjoying that. That was absolutely wonderful. I'm really honored, Ed, and humbled that you're here on behalf and on behalf of everybody at the 100 Club. I want you to know how much we appreciate all that you have done for the 100 Club for more than 30 years, and also for his own personal commitment to our firefighters and law enforcement personnel. As Ed just told you, he started out as a police officer, and even though he hasn't walked a beat since 1968, he's still to this day giving back. And for that reason, here's the commercial. On September 19th, our past chairman, Jim Riley, who is over here, who I have to thank for hiring me, and also Ed, they will be honored at our leadership dinner on September 19th at the Four Seasons, along with Judy Rice, Executive Vice President of Harris Bank. I'd also be remiss if I didn't pay a special thanks to our partners, the Apparel Industry Board, who will be co-hosting the awards dinner. Thanks to Executive Director Marcia Brenner and Executive Assistant Kevin Sullivan, who are both here today. This is going to be our third year, and we've raised over $100,000 from those events. With these three great Chicagoans as our honorees, I know it's going to be our best year ever. I'd also like to acknowledge Jim O'Connor, who serves as the president of the 100 Club Board. And Jim, you raised $6.8 million for Big Shoulders. Well, you got to get working on this 100 Club here. I'm feeling very needy right now. and Tom Cashman, our chairman. And our executive vice president, Ralph Mandel. Ralph is also here, and as well as a number of our board members. And my beautiful wife, Susan, who is over here, and my daughter, Meredith, who's also here. I love you guys. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jay and Paul, for inviting me to speak today about an organization that is really close to my heart, the 100 Club of Chicago. I'd also like to acknowledge Superintendent McCarthy and Mike Shields and Deputy Fire Commissioner John McNicholas, who is here with his daughter, who has actually served as a volunteer at the 100 Club for the last 6 months. Fire Commissioner Jose Santiago is recovering from some surgery last week and couldn't be with us. And also Illinois State Police Director Hiram Grau, who, as you know, lost a great state trooper, James Sauter, last March. And Special Agent in charge of the Secret Service, Frank Benedetto, is also here. Thank you for all of your continued work and support. And I want you to know I am really, truly honored to work with all of you and also with all the men and women that serve you. It was in 1952 that a successful Pontiac car dealer in Detroit read about a police officer that had been gunned down in their city while on duty. The slain officer's pregnant widow was going to lose her home. She couldn't pay her mortgage. The car dealer went to her home and paid off the entire mortgage. A month later, another Detroit police officer was killed in the line of duty, and this same car dealer with a heart of gold called another successful car dealer friend of his, and they reached out to 100 other friends, and that's how the 100 Club was born. Fast forward to today, I'm proud to say that there are now 126 chapters around the country, and most are just small local charities doing the best they can to provide for the families of police officers and firefighters that are killed in the line of duty. Chicago's chapter of the 100 Club got started 47 years ago in 1966, and to date our members have given away over $9 million to support those families in law enforcement who have been left behind when their loved one is killed. When you stop to consider, just take a moment and think about what an important role our first responders play in our society. I don't think that there's a single person in this room who has not benefited personally or had a family member or a loved one that has been helped by the selfless service, courage, and commitment of our brave men and women police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. I don't know where we'd be without them, or what our communities would even look like without the dedication that they all provide us in serving us. And that's what this mission is all about, providing for those families whose loved ones have made the ultimate sacrifice to make our community a better and safer place to live and raise our own families. I'd like to share a short video with you, and thanks to the Chicago Police Department's audio-video team, to ABC Channel 7, to Fox Channel 32, Mark Mitten, and Downtown Partners Ad Agency Jim Schmidt, and Beast TV Production for making it possible for you to see firsthand. This is real-life video of how dangerous these jobs are, and to hear from some surviving members just how important the 100 Club is today. If you could dim the lights a bit and play the video.
Battalion 18. Mayday, mayday, emergency. Give me a 211. Give me an EMS plan 1. We had a collapse in the rear of the building. Building came down. We got guys trapped. Go ahead, 2126. Engine company to the rear of the building immediately with the line. Listen up here, office, all right? I've got at least 4 guys still trapped. There's just say 1 removal. I got fire starting to extend. I got to get water in the back of the building. Battalion 18 and 274. We're working on our second victim to get our second victim out in the rear. Fire, not to the window! Fire, not to the window! Fire, not to the window!
Lawndale. Shots fired at 19th and Lawndale. What unit is on the scene of the shots fired?
To the window, shots fired!
10-4, what unit are you? Shots fired.
We need ambulance! We need ambulance!
What
Officer down, officer down, officer down! Officer hit!
units? We got a 10-1. We got a 10-1 at 1900 South Lawndale. An officer is shot at 1900 South Lawndale. Got a 10-1 at 1900 South Lawndale with an officer down on zone 10. Clear?
Lawndale with cars here. Leave a path for the ambulance.
Somebody leave a path for the ambulance on Lawndale. I need you guys to leave a path for the ambulance on Lawndale. Leave a path for the ambulance on Lawndale, units.
First became familiar with the 100 Club back in 1969 when my father was tragically killed in the line of duty. And at that time, I was 11 years old. I had 2 sisters who were younger than me. And the night that my father died, the chaplain and the police came to visit. And obviously that night, I became sort of the man of the house. And so I was very concerned about what would happen to our family. My journey to where I've come probably would have been a lot more difficult without the help and the generosity of the 100 Club.
The 100 Club was at my house the day after my husband died, and offering immediate financial assistance and a promise that they would not abandon me, and they did not. They were back to help me sort out finances and seek ways that they could assist me, and they gave me scholarship money as well, and they helped me to go to college.
I had no idea, I mean, to what extent they went to help take care of the widows and widowers and children of police and firemen who were killed in the line of duty. Within a few days, they called and asked me to get all of my bills together, and within 30 days of my getting all of my bills together, and that means just household bills, including the mortgage, was totally paid off. And God has really blessed us with this organization, and I pray that we never have to use it again. But the way the world runs now, I'm sure we will. But thank God for all of the 100 Club members.
You have it in the back of your mind, having your father as a police officer, that there's always this risk involved, and you think about it, but you don't think it's ever going to happen to your family.
In 1983, my father, Larry Vincent, was killed in the line of duty, and shortly thereafter, my family met a number of people from the 100 Club, and they became really a permanent part of our lives.
My dad and I had a great relationship. I was his only daughter, and he really prided himself on that. He called me his Princess Peg.
He was always very caring and very nurturing, pushing me and helping me to achieve the goals and things that I wanted to do.
It's heartbreaking just to go through school knowing that this is everything you've strived for, everything he wanted for you, and for him to not be there is just hard every day.
Kind-hearted. He always cared about everybody else. He made sure we were always okay.
I always remember him as like a very lively person. He was always like a super fun person to be around, always cracking jokes and making people smile. And at work, he took it very seriously. It was like always like a different story when it came to work. He would always take his job very seriously, and I know he loved it.
Several days after my father was killed, the 100 Club made sure that my mom didn't have to worry about a single bill for a long time.
A lot of uncertainty, a lot of not knowing what to expect in the future, how we were going to get by, how we were going to survive without my father, who was the main income in our family. The 100 Club afforded us the opportunity to sort of sit back and relax and realize that we were going to be okay.
I have to say, getting our life situated. I mean, it's a drastic change. My mom is a mother of 5, so we had to grow up very fast.
It's nice to know that there's still people there that want to help out your family, even my dad died 14 years ago, and that they're still helping us out.
I'm going to Loyola University of Chicago, and I want to become a physician's assistant.
I'm at St. Ambrose in Davenport, Iowa, and right now my intended major is to be in criminal justice.
Currently, right now, I'm in grad school at DePaul University. Currently working an internship right now at ABC 7 in the sports department as a sports intern.
I am graduating this quarter in June on Father's Day, and I am planning on going to John Marshall, where the 100 Club also has a scholarship. It's something that is unheard of, not only today, but at any moment, for someone to say there's a full ride if you want to take it. You're thrown into this whirlwind of emotions and a new lifestyle that was changed in literally 1 minute. And you don't know what to do. You don't know how to move on. You don't know how to pick up expenses. And the 100 Club is there.
The 100 Club has become an extension of my family. Not only after losing my father, the family that we came to become with other fellow survivors, the 100 Club has just afforded us this opportunity to be part of something greater as well.
We've always felt cared for, and as we began to heal, we realized that caring needed to be returned. So my mother, my stepfather have helped me and my brothers create the Larry Vincent Memorial Scholarship, which, starting I think in the fall of 2013, will fund 4 years of books and computers for a 100 Club recipient, and we're just thrilled to be able to finally give back.
Everyone does need help, either whether it's financially, emotionally, or anything like that, and I've been given that help, and I want to pass that on to others.
I'm extremely grateful. I'm proud of like who I was able to become thanks to them. I feel like if it wasn't for this foundation, I would not be where I am right now. I wouldn't be me.
If you remember, in December of 2010, there was a warehouse roof that collapsed and 2 firefighters were trapped, Ancom and Stringer. In fact, D'Amica Ancom is here today, the widow of Corey Ancom. And there was a tremendous outpouring of people for these 2 firefighters. When one of these policemen or firemen is killed in the line of duty, I show up and give the widow $50,000 representing the 100 Club within the first 24 hours of the event. And you would have seen Daryl Jackson, who is sitting down here, and Eileen Coglianese and Evelyn Davenport on the video that are the widow and son and wife of fallen policemen and firemen. I think it goes a long way to tell the story of what the 100 Club was all about. Most importantly, when I show up, there's no forms for the family to fill out. There's no line for them to get into. There's no bureaucracy. It's just the 100 Club family, made up of about 2,000 people, of members and supporters that are there to help this family get through this grieving process. But that's just the beginning of our support. Our Gold Shield Partners program connects surviving families with pro bono corporate and professional expertise and services in the areas of education, finance, and legal assistance, thanks to Motorola Solutions, Mesero Financial, and Chicago Bar Association. These companies help these families navigate over the next 1, 3, 5 years to make sound decisions. I might add, we're still looking for additional corporate support in the critical areas of healthcare, insurance, and counseling. Our educational assistance program helps send all of the sons and daughters to college and grad school. We currently have 13 local university partners: Northwestern University, University of Chicago, IIT, Loyola, and DePaul are just to name a few. They have committed up to 2 full tuition scholarships each for our scholars. That's over $2 million in private university scholarships that are available. That's an extraordinary outpouring of generosity from our local universities. And that's all just happened in the past 2 years. And we're working on bringing more in. This fall, 21 100 Club scholars are receiving educational assistance. In addition to the public service announcements that we do and speeches like this one, we rely on several public service and marketing campaigns throughout the year to promote awareness of the 100 Club and our work with first responders. And one that I am really excited about, and that we're currently working on with the Chicago Fire Department with Local 2 firefighters, thanks to Tommy Ryan, who is sitting in the way back. I'm sorry, Tom, yeah, you couldn't get you any further back. And also Agency 360. We are kicking off the Great Chicago Fire Hydrants program. Well, you probably couldn't help but notice these 2 giant fire hydrants that are here today. The Great Chicago Fire Hydrants presenting sponsor is Wintrust Community Bank. Matthew Doubleday is the Senior Vice President of Marketing, is here today, and also Merlin Media's Chief Operating Officer, Mark Chase. And these are just 2 fire hydrants that have been painted by local artists that are representative of 101 fire hydrants that are going to be around the city of Chicago in prominent areas. And it's all going to kick off this Wednesday on September 11th the 12th anniversary of 9/11. And at the end of the public art display, and again, I should mention that all of these are painted by local artists, the hydrants will be auctioned off on December 4th at the Hyatt Regency on Wacker to support the work of the 100 Club. If you recall, it was 13 years ago that the painted cows were on the streets of Michigan Avenue and around Chicago, and raised about $3 million. And this could be our greatest project ever. So I'm grateful to the Chicago Fire Department's Commissioner Santiago, again, Local 2's Tom Ryan, for recommending us as the beneficiary. The vote of confidence our first response organizations and all the local media have given us has been tremendous. And again, it all starts on Wednesday at 7:46 when the World Trade Center was struck. That's Chicago time. I don't know of any other first responder organization in the country that offers the breadth and depth of assistance that the 100 Club of Chicago does. We provide for the families of all emergency responders killed in the line of duty while stationed anywhere in Cook County. This includes federal, state, county, and local responders. When you leave, there's going to be some people out there that will accept contributions or membership if you would care, if you're not already a member. There will also be police officers outside ticketing your automobiles if you're crazy enough not to join it. I'd like to mention one more important thank you, and that's to a guy that I first turned to when I took this job, leading the 100 Club, and my job was to focus on really getting the organization on the map. And when I called him, he agreed without hesitation to not just one, but two very important public service campaigns that really set the tone for Chicago to take notice of the 100 Club. He was a Chicago guy, former police officer, a movie star, and a longtime member of the 100 Club. And long before I got here, he was a very close friend of mine. It is a great privilege for me today to announce for the first time that the 100 Club will be giving a $10,000 scholarship in the name of Dennis Farina. To a high-achieving 100 Club scholar each year. Dennis's love and partner for more than 30 years is here with us today. Kay Hill, love you. This is a surprise to Kay, but I hope that you're going to chair our selection committee as it's a fitting tribute to a guy that everybody in this room and everybody in Chicago loved and has done so much for all of us. So with that, I'm going home and suck my thumb.
At the beginning of the day, I knew exactly what would happen to me when I was a cop.
I knew that the bullet would miss.
I knew that I'd go home to my wife.
It was all in the script. But real policemen and firemen, they don't have a script.
The bullet doesn't always miss.
They don't always go home.
The 100 Club helps the families of first responders lost in the line of duty. Your support makes a difference.